Hello, you're welcome to yet another edition of Ipman Today this Monday on your favorite TV network, the NTA. That is the largest network in all of Africa. Of course, on today's Ipman Today, we'll begin with the verdict. And on the verdict today, with the national president of Ipman, that is Alhaji Abubakar Migani Shetima, we will be talking about key issues that have transpired within the oil and gas sector in Nigeria in recent weeks. Now, of course, top on the agenda will be the conversation on Warri Refinery, which just kicked off operations in recent weeks. Of course, we'll get to hear from the president exactly what has been happening between Ipman and the Warri Refinery as Ipman members begin to lift products from the Warri Refinery. Right after that, we'll be looking at the pricing regime in PMS in Nigeria. What exactly is the pump price of PMS in Nigeria? The president of Ipman will throw more light on this issue, on the verdict, and of course, still on the verdict, we'll be talking about key issues the president of Ipman thinks President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should begin to focus on within the oil and gas sector in 2025. Right after the verdict, I'll take you to CNG report. Now, of course, you know we've been talking about CNG and we've been talking to Nigerians that have configured the cars to use CNG in Nigeria. Of course, I'll bring you back-to-back reports of CNG reports talking about certain people who have been able to convert the vehicle to CNG and how they feel. Yes, just back-to-back clips of a handful of individuals, real-time Nigerians that have started using CNG. And right after CNG report, I'll take you, of course, to oil and gas news. Now, of course, what is trending in oil and gas news? Just keep your fingers crossed while I bring you oil and gas news at the end of the show. Remember, my name is Alpha Mokone. This is Ipman Today. Right after this short break, I'll be back. Welcome back from that short break. Right now, I'll take you to the verdict with the national president of Ipman. I told you earlier that the national president of Ipman will be extracting a whole lot of issues today, right from the Warri Refinery to the PMS pump price in Nigeria, and what he thinks that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should begin to focus on within the oil and gas sector in 2025. The verdict, let's go. It is another Monday in the year 2025. You're welcome to Ipman Today. And Mr. President, you're welcome on set.
Yes, thank you very much.
I think this is officially the first time we're seeing this.
Yes, it's true.
Happy New Year, sir.
Yes, thank you.
It's an Happy New Year to our wonderful viewers watching us. This is 2025, and a lot has been happening in the recent weeks. Top on the agenda is the coming on board of the Warri Refinery. I don't know if you were abroad when that news came on, but how did you feel when you heard the news that Warri Refinery started operations?
You know, normally we independent petroleum marketers, whenever there is a progress like that, we feel very happy. Okay. Because we know if refineries are coming, definitely we know the price of the product will be coming down. So we are happy for the coming of Warri Refinery, and we are waiting so that we can be able to start loading.
Okay, so as of now, Ipman members have not started lifting products from
PMS.
No,
we didn't load a single liter of PMS or AGO or DPK. But we are thinking at any time when they are ready, they will call our attention to come and start loading.
You as the president, you have not been invited to take a tour of the refinery at Warri?
No, our members are there. You know, it's not every place when they make an invitation that the president will just go. Yes, but certainly. Our members are there. They have attended the ceremony for the opening.
Okay. And when they attended the opening ceremony, that is, what feedback did you get from your... You're talking about your chairman, Ipman
yes,
chairman.
My Ipman chairman for Warri, he represented me. He went there. And what he was telling me, he said the product that they have started loading is just for NNPC retail.
Okay.
But they didn't load for independent petroleum marketers. Okay. But he said they tell him that anytime when they are ready, they will call our members to come and start loading.
Okay. So definitely, as it is now, Ipman members have been lifting only from Dangote Refinery?
Yes, that is the main source of our having product through Dangote Refinery, and others are getting it through the other private depots.
Okay, Mr. President, let's talk about the price. Recently, we know Dangote reduce the price of PMS for Ipman members and for everyone who intends to lift PMS products from his refinery, that's Dangote Refinery. But recently, there's not been a uniform in terms of the pricing across Nigeria. We know, just talk to us about the pricing. What exactly is happening?
Well, In fact, you know, as we have the collaboration between MRS, Dangote, Independent Petroleum Marketers, and we do registration because you have to register because before you started picking the product. So some of our marketers have started registering through MRS, Dangote, Ipman, and we have started selling. So most of our members who loaded through Dangote, MRS, Ipman, they are selling their product at the rate of 935 naira per liter.
Okay, 935 naira.
Yes.
Where exactly? Which part of the country?
All over the country, because already the product that they are giving, they include transportation and your marketers margin. So all over the country, our marketers, those who loaded there, they are selling their product at the rate of 935 naira per liter.
Okay, Mr. President, when you talk about Ipman members, how do we get to know whom are Ipman members? Is A. Rano an Ipman member? Because recently they are selling at 970 or thereabout, 960 or thereabout. And you say Ipman members are
yes, you know what I tell you, I say those who registered with Dangote MRS.
Okay.
Yes, even if you are an Ipman member, if you didn't register with Dangote MRS, there is no way you can be able to sell your product at the rate of 935 because you have to source your product through other private depots.
Okay.
And their price there is higher. So presently now, it's only through that Dangote MRS Ipman that you can be able to sell your product at the rate of 935 naira per liter.
Okay, before we go further into the pricing regime, you talk about Dangote, MRS, Ipman. Is Dangote and MRS, are they one entity or you have separate arrangements with them? How do you work that out?
No, you know already MRS, they are marketers.
Themselves?
Themselves, yes.
Okay.
And at the same time, Dangote partner with them so that they can be able to see how they can help the country in terms of price reduction. So, and he involved us into system. Okay. And most of our marketers, we tell them to go and register and start picking. So anyone among them that has already registered, when you go to his filling station, he will be seeing that he is selling at the rate of 935 naira per liter.
Okay, so Ipman members are not lifting directly from Dangote?
Yes, they are loading through
MRS.
But some are loading directly from Dangote, depending on the price that they obtain their product there.
Okay. If you buy your product from MRS or Dangote Refinery, are you buying at the same price?
No, the price differs. The one that you are obtaining in Dangote Refinery direct, it doesn't have any margin for transportation and
profits. Okay.
Yes. But the only thing he will tell you is the value of how much you wanted to sell, then you can buy. Then it depends on the destination that you are going to carry your product. So through that destination, you can be able to know how much you will sell. Okay.
But if you are buying from MRS, there are already benefits attached to it.
Yes, there is a benefit because it's a program which actually Dangote himself informed the MRS to start doing for Nigerians.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yes.
If you're a marketer based in Lagos, and your markets are based in Sokoto, it makes no difference. You will still sell at 935.
The same uniform price.
Okay, that means you are buying at different prices.
Yes, the prices is different.
Okay.
Those who are discharging their product in Lagos, their price is different from those who are discharging in Sokoto.
You mean the price that they buy from MRS?
The MRS, yes.
Okay, but you are only mandated to sell at 935.
At the rate of 935.
Okay, so going around Abuja recently, I've not been able to notice that, but maybe we'll take a tour and see exactly what
Yes, when you take a tour, immediately when those marketers that has that program, you will see they will start selling at that rate. Yeah.
So other filling stations now in Abuja that are not selling at 935, that are selling at 970, that are not NNPC stations?
No, the NNPC, you know NNPC in Abuja here, they sell their product at the rate of 960.
Yes.
Yes.
So do they get the products from Dangote Refinery, or you don't want to?
Actually, I don't know their source of getting product presently.
Okay. So are we going to see further reduction in the pump price?
Quite right, definitely. Since the refineries are coming, so always Nigerians will be expecting changes in price, and we are expecting a lower rate by God's grace.
Okay. So President, before we round up the show, this is 2025. 2025 is already beckoning on us. We're already in January 2025. What is your advice to the President of Nigeria? Because things have to be done a bit differently within the oil and gas sector. What are those key areas you think the president of Nigeria should focus on to ensure maximum output and availability of oil and gas in Nigeria?
Well, in fact, first of all, let me recommend Mr. President, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because he has done a lot, especially in terms of fuel. Because what he did, he is able to achieve to remove the subsidy. And despite the fact that he removed the subsidy, the price is coming down a little bit. So what we want the Mr. President to focus on, that is, let's see how all Nigerian refineries will start functioning properly. At the same time, all NNPC depots, let them be in action so that they will start functioning too, instead of always carrying product through the longer roads. So that at least if maybe all these pipelines are being repaired, so those refineries, if they are in order, they can be able to push this product to the various depots in Nigeria, and it will make the product to become cheaper and cheaper. And then secondly, let the government see how they will assist the independent petroleum marketers to do their own refinery. Okay. And then even those refinery, if there is a partnership, if the government can open a partnership whereby independent petroleum marketers will participate fully in the construction, in the repairs of these refineries, at the same time in the taking care of the pipelines, those that are carrying product through the various depots that we have in Nigeria, that one too will assist.
That's interesting. Thank you, Mr. President. This is the verdict. Before we round up, Mr. President, are those your last words?
Well, our last word on this, just as I say, we appreciate Mr. President, and we are praying for him to see a further action or a further development in terms of bringing the petroleum product down so that the masses will enjoy the benefit. And at the same time, this issue of CNG, which Mr. President has brought, that one too is a very good welcome development, because if you observe now, many vehicles has been converted and they are using CNG, which that one too will assist in reducing much pressure on the PMS.
Yes, but I think we also need more refuel outlets in terms of CNG.
And if you observe during this festivity, as we know before, immediately when the festivity comes, scarcity don't come.
Yes.
So it's a kudos to Mr. President.
Yes. When the first time in a long while.
Yeah, very good.
Yes.
When this issue comes, there is no any issue. So everybody is happy. People has done their festivity in a good mood.
So that is thanks to the President of Nigeria, President Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for ensuring increased supply and availability of PMS products across Nigeria. This is the verdict. Ipman, today we continue right after the short break. Don't touch your remote. I'm sure we've gotten the answers to a whole lot of questions bothering the minds of Nigerians, from the Warri Refinery to the price of PMS at the pumps in Nigeria. And of course, the national president was spot on yet again when he talked about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu being very successful in the oil and gas sector so far, and what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should focus on in 2025. Now, right now, that is, I'll take you over to CNG report. I told you earlier that I'll be bringing you back-to-back clips of few Nigerians who have successfully converted the vehicle to CNG. What exactly is going through their minds? And you should convert your vehicle to CNG. This is 2025. Save some money on PMS. Save some disposable income by converting your vehicle to CNG. Let's go over now to CNG report. I'll be back. Welcome to another edition of CNG Reports on Ipman, today brought to you by Nat'L. And with the first lady we'll be talking to concerning CNG. Ajia, what's the name, please?
I'm Ajia Olakpade.
Ajia Olakpade, she's using CNG. Tell us, how has CNG been for you and your vehicle?
Well, as I have been saying, the CNG will help us to navigate through the issue of fuel crisis in Nigeria. Yes, it can be supportive. You know, like my car now.
Okay.
In a month, I could have spent around 250,000 naira.
250,000 naira on PMS?
Yes, on PMS, because before it rose like this, I'm using 10,000 naira a day. To carry myself to work and come back. But with CNG, around 15,000 highest, I can use it for a week. It is very good.
Okay, now they are filling up your vehicle with some gas. Yeah. Tell us about the safety measures. How safe is CNG? Because a lot of people have been saying that CNG is unsafe for use in Nigeria, but you are using CNG. What's the experience like?
Okay, that was the same thing I heard before.
You heard the same thing before?
Yeah, that CNG is unsafe. But at first I was first discouraged. I was skeptical about it at first. But so far I'm using it. I've not heard about any explosion ever since. And it's very, very safe. I can say it's very, very safe because the cylinder itself is bulletproof. Bullet cannot penetrate inside, so it's 100% safe.
Something that bullet cannot even penetrate. What wants to penetrate?
So it's very, very safe.
One Corolla that will just go and scatter it.
Understand? So it's very, very safe.
Or one Benz.
One Benz, you understand?
It's not possible now.
Not possible. So it's very, very safe on that aspect.
This is the new future for Nigerian.
The new future
for Nigeria.
For Nigerian roads.
Exactly. Because I'm saying a very big thank you to President Tinubu for bringing this idea. But in terms of financial implication, it's worth it.
It's worth it.
Though you convert with between 800 and 1.2 million to convert your car into CNG,
yes.
But I bet you it's worth it.
You heard him. He said it's going to take you about 800,000 naira to $1 million to convert your PMS powered vehicle to CNG. But at the end of the day, it's extremely worth it. Now, why did you decide to convert a vehicle to CNG? What inspired you? I mean, because most men are afraid not to talk of women like you. What inspired you?
I think you do the research whenever you want to go into any new thing like this. When I go into the Google, I was told that this CNG is the safest gas.
The safest gas than even PMS?
Yes, PMS. No, PMS has its own gas, so it's very inflammable. What about MPG? They are even computing gas. It's even not as safe as CNG. I was told that CNG disperse immediately if there's any problem. But for other one, they settled down, which made them to be more disastrous. When I heard about this explosion of a CNG cylinder, maybe people try to, Nigeria, you need to learn to cut corners. Maybe they are trying to manufacture the cylinder by themselves.
Yes.
Which is not so. Please advise our people. Safety first in anything we are doing.
Aja, thank you so much. Now you can see Aja is filling up a vehicle. You want to take a look at, this is the CNG going right into Aja's vehicle. And right after now, Aja will be enjoying a vehicle with CNG. Like she said earlier, she spends an average of 10,000 naira a week on CNG. That is a month she spends close to 40,000 naira as against 250,000 naira she was spending earlier on PMS. So you see, CNG is safe and CNG is so cheap. Aja, thank you so much. Over now to oil and gas news, still on Ipman today. Don't touch your remote. No doubt every Nigerian by now should have converted the vehicle to CNG. If not, you should be next. Your car should be next in that CNG conversion center. Of course, if you want to know where you can easily convert your vehicle, you could reach out to Ipman today. You come to our national headquarters located on number 1 Alpha Wali Street in Abuja, Guzapi, and we could tell you all you need to know concerning CNG. Right now, I'll take you to oil and gas news. Oil and gas news, exactly what is trending in the oil and gas sector. Keep your fingers crossed while I take you to oil and gas news. Let's go. From the verdict to CNG reports to oil and gas news, I'm sure a whole lot of answers have been given to you concerning key questions and key issues in Nigeria's oil and gas sector. Yes, thank you so much for keeping your channel locked on NTA, the largest network in all of Africa, many times. That is, right now, I'll call it a wrap on today's edition of Ipman Today. But remember, Ipman Today will be back. Yes, we will be back same time next week at 10:05 like this, 10:05 on Monday next week on NTA, the largest network in all of Africa, where I'll bring you more events and more conversations concerning key issues in Nigeria's oil and gas sector. Until then, of course, you know, my name is Alpha Mokone, and please don't touch your remote, because NTA, that is the largest network in all of Africa. Yet again, they continue with their sublime broadcasting.